Test 1, 2.
Up, hold on. I'm recording this thing on an emulator. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not. And unfortunately the screen of the emulator keeps collapsing, so I cannot just start with an extended screen. Playing Comix Zone. One, I think, of the certainly my favorite games on Genesis, and perhaps among just all the games in general. And even though I'm playing it on the emulator, I'm still using the actual Genesis, look at this, controller, because this is the way to play Genesis. You have to use the controller because of the Genesis controller is unlike any other, and I use 6-button controller. So it will be as authentic as I can get it. So let's just start, and I will I'll skip the intro. I will try to explain why this game is so amazing and why I like it so much. I've heard that some people and I've made a mistake because I didn't pick the items, which I will need later. But I can complete this level. We're playing, again, just the first level without them. It's a fighting game. I like fighting games, but usually not the type of the tournament type of fighting games. I like where there is some fighting and progression at the same time. So what's great about Comix Zone? The first thing that comes to mind is presentation. Obviously, it's not the most important thing, but it is the first thing that really amazes. It's really hard to fathom how they managed to make it look so good. It was developed by the Sega Technical Institute near the end of the Genesis life cycle. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the rat right now because he has also a pet rat, which he can release to find hidden items and press switches, whatnot. So it is not just a mindless fighting game, and it is presented as a comic book, so you jump from panel to panel. I'm sure that now there are maybe a couple of games like that, but back then it was very, very original. You destroy this hatch and you just go down, and it is a completely different environment. Usually in games, especially old games which are so-called, here is the red by the way, the tile-based games, they had limited memory, and therefore levels tend to be assembled of the repeating blocks. Here each panel is its own little environment. As you can see, there is foreground, background, there are obstacles, there are enemies, and as an artist, I can tell you that the way that the characters are drawn, especially the main character, is flawless. The way they are drawn and the way they are animated. Amazing number, just a stack of animation frames. Sega back in the day, they had a special technology which allowed them to compress lots of animation frames into the memory of Genesis. I'm sure there were very impressive in terms of animation games on Super Nintendo as well, so they managed to overcome this. All those consoles, they didn't have a lot of memory, not like today where we can fit any sprite sheets inside of the gigabytes of memory that all the modern platforms have. Back then it was difficult. And I would argue that games like Comix Zone, they look better with all this pixel art and amazing animation. And not just animation, look at the backgrounds. They all look better than today's games. And I like the way he... the music, do you hear the music? The music is great. Again, one of those games which everyone is making covers of. On YouTube, you can check it. And here we have a little puzzle. So there's fighting, there is puzzle solving, and there will be a boss at the end. I hope I can beat it, because I don't really... I haven't played this game in a while, but I do play it from time to time just to refresh how amazing it is. So I do this, I open this hedge door or whatnot, and now, unfortunately, sometimes he gets stuck holding this lever. We can still do this. Boom! There were explosives here. You know what? I think I'll play 2 levels, because I want to show you the boss. Should I play 2 levels? Or should I stick to the rule of this channel that I only play 1? The game is difficult in that when you die, you die. I believe there are no lives, and what you see right here in front of me is an abyss. If I fall, I die, and the game is over. It's not a long game. I think it is 4 or 5 levels here that are well done. So the game is unforgiving in terms of its difficulty, but up. It's a difficult one. You see how it's animated? It's amazing. And we have completed the first level. On to the second one. You know what? I will stick to the rule of this channel. Just 1 level. If you want to see more, you can play for yourself, either on the original hardware, which I would encourage, frankly, or if you are playing on an emulator, I recommend getting one of those. You can buy a device that lets you, looks like this. Can you see it? Lets you plug in old controllers into the USB port of your regular PC. And I have Super Nintendo, Genesis, and I'm thinking about getting the NES controller too, but actually the NES controller, the Super NES controller is very similar to the NES controller, only the better, so probably there's no reason to do that. But yeah, this is the Comix Zone, level 1, all around great game. I encourage you to try it. Next time we will probably try either a 16-bit game again, or maybe a PlayStation game. We'll see.